Hmm. Let me share it for you. The screens that will help us to review the previous classes. So we have learned some new vocabularies last week. So I was also telling you about some of the things that all the vocabularies, all the words in Hebrew will be either masculine or feminine. So here we see the indication of whether these nouns are feminine or masculine, also even the pronouns. So we all should keep that in mind when we learn these vocabularies. That's one thing. And yeah, I think Sister Vani is still having problem with connecting. I don't know what is the thing. Maybe we can continue. Let's see whether she can join. Right. And here we see the plural and singular noun chart. How the singular noun, the form of singular noun changes when it becomes plural in Hebrew. So some of the things that we have noted down, the im and ending and what ending. So most of the time we have seen that the uh, the masculine ending comes with im and the feminine ending comes with ot, right? Bain becomes banim, bath becomes banot, right? Bain becomes banim, bath becomes banot, and davar becomes devarim, derek becomes derakim. So in that way, we see that the nouns changes its form. But at the same time, there are some irregular nouns where we see av is actually a masculine noun. It should be according to the rule. It should be like avim, right? But instead of that, it becomes avot. So those things are irregular. And again, see another thing, Isha. Isha is a feminine noun, and according to the rule, it should be ending with oath, right? So it should be something like Ishok, but instead of that, it becomes Nashim. There are some extra word is added here. So in that sense, the form also is it looks like totally changing. So we should be very, very careful in order to find. So how we can do that? It's mostly the people learn Hebrew by memorizing the vocabularies and familiarizing with the vocabularies, right? So once you start reading again and again the Hebrew text, you will get used to the vocabularies. There is no other option. Only by using it regularly, you will get familiarized with the words. Other than that, there is no shortcut. Even though there are hints, as I already told you, the em ending and the oath ending, those may tell, but at the same time, when you come across these kind of irregular nouns, in that case, you may get confused. So it's better we learn it clearly, possibly memorizing the vocabulary, right? Okay, let me come back. So these are the two things that we have learned in the previous class. Now let us see something inseparable pronoun. Inseparable, inseparable prepositions. I said pronoun. I'm sorry, prepositions. So you know what the prepositions. What do we mean by prepositions? Something comes before the noun, indicating about the place, right, where it is, like in the word like in or with or on, or some words that try to compare. Okay, the words like like, like and as, um, as, and some of the words that indicates the direction, like to, for, or something like association. So those words are called prepositions, and we have already seen two prepositions. If you remember, mean and L, mean and L. If you remember, mean is from and L is to. So these words we have already seen in the previous classes, and there are some other prepositions. Let us see today. Then number one is, so this is bait with the seva and dagesh. Okay, bait with seva and dagesh. So this is the preposition used for in, with, or on. In, with, or on. And the next is calf. Same way, calf with dagesh and seva, right? So this is the preposition used for like or as. And another preposition is, we will little adjust the camera, right? Lamed, again, there is this seva, and it is to or for. Okay, these are three prepositions. We can spell it as be, ke, le. Okay, be, ke, le. Be is in, ke is like, le is to. Okay, just remember it. Be, ke, le. In, like, to, or for. Yeah, I hope you have noted down. So let us continue. The next thing, we will see how the vowels, okay, how the vowels work when the prepositions comes with the word. Let us see. So the inseparable prepositions usually take inseparable prepositions. They usually take a seva, as I already told you. Usually they take a seva. So now we know mishpaka. What is that? Mishpaka, we know. Mishpaka. Mishpaka is family. If you remember the word, Mishpaka is family. So the preposition, if we supply a preposition like this, bemispacha. So how it can be translated is in or with a family. Okay, in or with a family, whatever it is, that's fine. Bemispacha. So now you know this. You should know this this word. You should know this word mishpaka before you know which one is a noun and which one is the preposition. You should know the exact vocabulary. Only then you can easily find out or easily translate. So now Be mishpacha is in or with a family, right? Then in or with a family. Okay, and the next thing is another example we can see. Okay, that is K-Melech. K-Melech. You know what is Melech? A king, right? And what is K? The preposition we just learned is as, as a king, or you can also write it as like a king. K-Melech. Okay, that's it. That's another example. So you may get to see these kind of words hereafter in your homework sentences. So you should be very careful enough to find out, don't get confused. So you first recognize the vocabulary, then you can easily separate the prepositions. Okay, Melek. Yeah, let's see one more. Le Moab. Le Moab. You know Moab. So to Moab. Okay, to Moab. So yes, that's right. And in some circumstances, the inseparable proposition take other words. Um, let's see. There are only few situations, and but still, we don't have exact rules why that happens. And also, that's not our focus here. It will be much confusing. So let me give you some cases, examples. Melachim. So we know that, right? Melachim is what? Kings. We just learned the plural nouns. So the Malak, Melech becomes Melachim, right? Melech becomes Melachim. So here you will see the preposition comes with the Hirak instead of Sheva. So in that sense, Ki Melech, Ki Melakim, Ki Melakim. So it means as kings. Ki Melakim, as kings. Okay, so this is one instance where there are some changes happening from usual rule. So here it is not Seva is used here. And in another case, Yerushalayim. You know, Jerusalem. The word for Jerusalem is Yerushalayim, right? So here you see. So now you know this from this part onwards, Yerushalayim. So it becomes like Lirushalayim, Lirushalayim, so which means to Jerusalem. So the key thing is you must, when you see a bait or kaf or lamed in the front of a letter, try to find whether that is a preposition or not. If not, then you can go for other vocabulary. So in that way, you can find out. And Next, let's see the same prepositions, beit, kaf, and lamed. When it is connected with hey, inseparable prepositions connected with hey, connected with hey. So what does it mean? Hey is usually the definite article in Hebrew. So when it is connected with hey, what happens? So that we will see. The most of the time the hey is dropped. Okay, you can just note these rules, right, which may help you. Uh, when the inseparable prepositions connected with hey is dropped. In most cases, it is dropped. Dropped means it is taken out from the word. And any vowel that appeared under the he is transferred to the prepositions. So usually whatever the vowel that comes under he is transferred to the prepositions. Vowel under he is transferred to the preposition. Okay, so that's another thing. And whatever any dog is that is appeared in the first letter after he is also preserved. Dogish after he is preserved. We'll be looking at some examples, then these things will get clear for you. Right? So these are some examples. Right. So now let's take one word. Ow. Ow. Right? Ow is what? Father. So when we say lay out, what does it mean now? We all know that is to a father, right? So just please take note of this lamed and ha'aw. What is that ha'aw? The father. Please always compare what is happening here. Aw is father. When it comes layout to a father, because there is no definite article here, ha'aw is the father. Now, when these two combine, that means the preposition and the definite article, when it combines, see how it comes. La'aw. Okay. So this hey and this lamed, they combine together. This hey is dropped. You remember we learned that rule. The hey is dropped and the whatever the vowel under hey is transferred to the preposition. So now this means la'aw. What is that? To the father. To the father. So this is how it is changed, right? One more example. bayit, house. Be, I mean, there is a dog is be bayit. It means in a house. And habayit, habayit, that means the house. So now when the preposition combines here, and I already told you there is this dog is also will be transferred to the previous uh, preposition. So in that case, what happens? Ba bayit, ba bayit. It means in the house. Just try to compare what is happening here. Okay. Bayit, house. Be bayit means in a house. So in a house, there is no dog is here. Bayit, that is the house. Ba bayit, that should be a dog is here. Ba bayit, that is in the house. So this is how the changes happen when there is when there is a definite article before the noun and also a preposition, right? So is there anything that we need to learn today? Is another thing is most of the time, yes, I think this will be more than enough for you to do your next homework. So you can just follow with me. Another thing about inseparable preposition, you have already learned that L, right? L is two, and lay is also two. So most of the time, these two words are used interchangeably. So wherever there is a need L, sometimes it is used lay. So for example, L ear. What does it mean? To a city. To a city. L is to a city. L. And it can also be ear. Again, that is also to a city. Both can come. Okay. L or ear. And these two can come interchangeably. So you must take note of this. So right, and you should also look at the different usages of the nouns. So lay can mean to or far. Okay, it can be to or far. It depends on the sentence and depends on the context. All right, so that's where I'm going to stop now.